I researched 5 different AI tools to generate images that are totally free, so you don't have to. Hi, my name is Natalie and I help creative entrepreneurs create money-making content that leads to fabulous products and services. In this video, I am trying out several different AI art tools and giving them a rating, so you can decide if you want to try them for yourself. So let's get started with tool number 1. So this is IMGCreator AI. We can say try an example. That sounds fun to start with. And it wants us to log in to create. So I just quickly made an account. You can just use your Google account or make an account so that we can actually do things here. That is fun. And you have all these different styles here that you can do. Only the realistic photo, the design and the illustration are pro. And I'm going for art. Let's create art. Fantasy, epic, vector art. Let's do epic. That sounds cool. I love, by the way, that it's giving a prompt guide to help, because that is definitely not easy, knowing the prompts. Okay, cool. This is definitely a mountain with a forest on the front, and then there's like a village somewhere in this tree. And this one is with a building as well, and mountains in the back. Missing a little bit of the, like, this is the forest, but it's not really a forest, like a lot of trees. But the river is definitely here. And if I would say freeform, let's try again the same thing with freeform. Oh, wow, that's like almost realistic. You can see it's not realistic, but it's very realistic like. And this is much more what I was looking for, like forest in the front, a river, mountains in the back. Oh, and this one as well. So these can be great images, depending on what you need, of course. But I think that's always the case. But these look really cool. I will download this one. Let's look at the prompt guide. So you can ask for things like a close-up, a real photo, a cartoon, illustration for kids. I don't feel I did this one well. I asked for crafting supplies all over the floor. I got a floor kind of thing. Maybe these are meant to be crafting supplies. This one definitely doesn't have any crafting supplies. So let's say, if we would say painting supplies, so be more specific. Let's see if it understands that instead. If it's just the fact that crafting is too vague, or if it just doesn't know what we want. This one is a bit better. We have a pencil, paintbrush kind of thing. It's an interesting combination of... I feel like this is a combination of things. And then paint stripes here. And this is just paint on the floor. So yeah, it is struggling. And I think that's also because I would need to be more specific about my prompts. So let's see if I can maybe add some things and get something better. Yes, this definitely helped. Look, we now have paint supplies in different categories, in different ways on the floor. So being specific definitely helps. And I think it just doesn't understand things like supplies, which makes sense. It's AI, it's good, but it's not all-knowing. So yeah, that's really cool. So I did see I got 60 credits because I made an account, and you can see that here as well, that I can use. I am not sure what I can use those for. I've a generation limit apparently, and I can get credits, and I don't know how I spend. I think, oh, these are my pro credits. Okay, so I could generate an image that's photorealistic or illustration because I have credits, I think. Okay, these images are really cool. Flat coats don't really have the brown here, but otherwise they look really, really like a flat coat. And this flowery field is really nice as well. I am giving this a 4 out of 5 because it has so many options, and you can earn credits so that you don't have to spend money to be able to use the pro features, which I thought you needed to at first. And I think that is really cool and helpful because you have all these different ways to make things. Like, I love that you have sticker illustrations here as well. Okay, so here we have Craiyon. Craiyon is a free version as well, and we can just say here what we want to generate, and then the generate images appear here. It has a lot of ads, which makes it easier for them to keep it free. Oh yeah, I was just about to say, oh, they disappear. No, they don't. Let's just see what we can do. I decided to start off with a prompt that I used in another tool, just to see what it comes up with. And it takes about a minute. Oh, and you have a timer here. That's nice. Then you know how much time has passed. And here they are. And they look really, really nice. I see brushes on a wooden floor. Here, this one I like as well. Oh, this one with the paint. Yeah, these are really, really nice. And I'm wondering if I can save them somehow. You can click on one. Okay, so if you look up close, the brushes aren't really, but it's a drawing, it's art. You know, it's not meant to be completely photorealistic, and with the right blog post, for instance, this can be great and fun. And so then we can just click here and we can download it. Perfect. And we can heart it. Oh, we need an account for that. That makes sense. Will it know specific dogs? Okay, so this one, I don't know what's going on here. The dogs look a bit wonky. Look, most of the dogs look very wonky. It did get 3 flat coat like, but geez, these look like sad animals. I don't think I would go for the dogs here. This one is really, look, this looks really, really weird. Yeah, no, we are not doing live animals with Craiyon. It's not, like, I don't even know what this is. Let's do another inanimate object. It does get a bit tedious that you have to wait a minute every time. And at the same time, I completely understand that it has to, you know, generate it and you're not paying for it. So you can get faster results. That's probably if you get an account and you pay. Yeah, I love this. This is very much an illustration. And I think, like I said, if you know better how to describe the image, that you could get better results. I think this one is nice. Or this one. Let's download this one. I think I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 because it can make really cool images, but you have to be very specific. And if you don't really know how to type that in, the results can be very weird, like the dogs. I do think that part of that is just learning prompts, which is why I'm not giving it a 2 out of 5. But I do feel that some of the results were not completely the prompts, but mostly just the AI generating tool. Okay, so our next tool is Dream by Wombo. And we see all these really cool images coming by, really much art. So let's start creating. We want to create a artwork. They're really calling it art here. And we're going to enter a prompt. And I see that they have examples as well. So let's start with sunset cliffs. And then you have all these different styles. So watercolor, sure. Expressionism, unrealistic. Some of them doesn't really make any sense to me. I like this figure one. Let's try that. And then click create. This one is really clear that if you don't like ads, you can get rid of it with premium and then also get more images, which I think is really nice that they're so clear about that. And then I have my image. Ooh, this is the cliff and it's white, and then there's the ocean in the background. And you can say make variations. I think that might be a premium feature. Yes, that's a premium feature, which is not really all that cheap. And it's completely logical and fine that you need to pay if you want more. I completely understand, but that's not what we're looking for today. So yeah, this is very much what I asked. Ocean, white cliffs, sunset, it giving me Dover vibes, the white cliffs of Dover. Yeah, and this is definitely watercolor. I really like this. I think this is a great image, depending on what you're looking for. And I can click download here. Let's see how this tool does with dogs, cats, anything that actually moves. I see a cat here. Let's go for a frog. So here we have two images actually. It's like two half images. Here's a really weird looking frog with a forest in the background. And here's a toad with forest in the background. This one could be nice, though I'm not sure what this is. So overall, I really like this one. It has a lot of options. I do think it's sad that we're only getting one preview and we can't make any variations of it. But I think, you know, you can always just change the prompt a little bit and create another one. So you have the option to make your own variations. Yeah, and I think there's so many different styles here and they are very well explained, which helps knowing what you want. Here we have Dreamlike.art. Get started for free, no credit card required. That's what we want. Oh wow, this looks a little bit overwhelming to start with. What do you want to do? I want to generate model Nergen 1.0, Realism Engine 1.0. Okay, so I think these are style-like things. They are AI database, the AI generators that it's based on. But for someone who isn't really known with the AI engines, it's hard to know what's what. So it does say photoreal or anime, but yeah, that you really just have to look at the images and decide what kind of style you want. Wait, let's do this one. Okay, so then it gives you a prompt and you can do random. So let's start with that. And you get what you don't want. And then it's making 5 images. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and then you have to join. And then you get credits. Okay, well, let's try. Okay, so now it's saying these 5 images will take 10.9 credits, very specific. And I have 50. And since we're trying it out, I'm just going to do that. So this is very different than what we've made so far. So it doesn't look like anything, but I really like the detail in the images. So let's see what we can come up with our own prompts. Oh, and it's keeping the old images that I generated while I'm generating new ones. I like that. I think that means that you can keep changing your prompt and generating new images and then pick the ones that you want to and that you like the most. Oh wow, these are really, really nice for photorealistic images. Look, it's winter, definitely. There's forest, there's a river, there's snowy mountains in the back. And this one even has like a stream. And yes, if you look, you can see it's not a real photo, but depending on what you want to use it for, could be a really, really good image. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so, and then we can even say variations. And then it's coming up with 4 variations. Oh, wow. Okay, so the variations are very much variations. They really, really are very alike. They're just different like details. Okay, I am going to try a dog again. Here are two flat coats walking on a snowy path. I don't know why it's still snowy here, but you know, whatever. I like that. And here as well, here we have a person and then a dog. I do feel it's missing a leg here. Or is that a leg? Because that doesn't make any sense. So it might have a little bit of bad anatomy. I am really impressed with the quality of these images, but we've only tried one model, so let's try another model. I don't know if I would call this cute. I do like this one better. It's weird. It's definitely weird. It has stars in the Milky Way. I'm not sure about the monster, but that's also, like I said, that's also my lack of maybe the right prompts. Okay, I do feel the variations here are a lot better. This one is like a fun child's book background. I don't know if you really can see the cute little monsters. Yeah, you could. This is the monster. And there's like starry background and there's another like monstery thing here. This one is definitely a monster as well, but completely different than the first one or the one we just saw. This one again, completely different. I love how cute this is. And then this one is a bit more monstery and maybe a little bit less starry background. Yes, I still see that in there, but it's got that a little bit less. I think this one is a little bit harder to understand and use, but I do think it comes up with better variations, definitely more realistic images. So I am in doubt what to give this. And we also have the credit issue because we got 50 credits and after that we need to pay. So I'm going for a 3 out of 5. If you want to have some fun, try out some things, this could be a really nice one, but you will soon get out of credits and it has a bit of a bigger learning curve. I have heard some really cool and good stories about InstantArt. It is more a art tool, as you can also see from the images that it's producing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what we can do with that. So we clicked create our first image. And then we have to register. Okay, so now I'm logged in, I have an account and we can say generate. And I can describe my image. I love that you can do the negative again. I don't know what you would add here yet, but I think maybe once you've generated something, you can say, oh, I don't want that. We can pick the dimension. We can pick the model again, so the engine that it's using. The thing is, I have no clue what this all means. Like, I know some of them, but I don't know what that would mean for what it would do to my image. And I do think that is, that makes it more expert, like for experts. You can have guidance scale, which means less contrast or more contrast. Let's go halfway and then image to images. And let's generate. Oh wow, these images are amazing. Just look at this. The mountains don't look really real, but like, and there's like a soccer field or a rugby field. It has all these different elements. This is even a biker here. It just looks really fun and an image you could use. I am going to download this one. Oh, I am not allowed to. That's fun. An error, sorry. It's also very much not telling me why. I cannot download this. There's lavender here, there's forest, there's even already a mountain here, and then better mountains than the last one here. It does take a while to render, but I like that you can see the progress, so it makes you less anxious what's happening and how long it's going to take. Okay, these look maybe even better. I like the sun. This is a really cool image to use. And this one as well. Let's see if I can now download it. Nope, still an error. Okay, look at these. This is amazing. I really think like this tool, if you have the right prompts and you can be very specific and you know the different models, because I think that will be the biggest thing to learn. Wow. It's still not letting me download though, so that's a really big minus. And the images aren't that big, so this being the biggest dimension is going to be a problem. Okay, so I think I'm going to give InstantArt a 2 out of 5. Not because it can't make really, really pretty things, but there is too big of a learning curve for those of us that are just doing it to have some fun images to use. I think if you would jump into this, it would be a rabbit hole to go down in and figure out how this all works. Not that that's a bad thing. Maybe you want to, and that's perfectly fine. But for what we wanted to know, I feel like this is too big of a learning curve and to figure out how it all works. So yeah, a 2 out of 5 from me for that. But definitely interesting to learn more about later. Here is one you might not expect to see, but Canva is an AI generating images tool as well. They have an app called Text to Image. It's under apps if you haven't installed it yet. So we click apps here, text to image, and then use. And then you can describe it just like we did with the other tools. And you can also say, try an example. So it's saying ambulance driving in the streets of New York in the 19th century. Sure. And then you have all these different options. There's only a few that are very different. So that's not the amount that we've had in other tools. But let's go Dreamlike. And we want a square image. Then we say generate. Okay, these are really cool. They have a little bit of a taxi combined with an ambulance vibe. But look at these cool images. Ooh. And you get 4, and then you can even just change styles and create again. So if we would go filmic and just say create again. Oh my God, that's completely different. I think that is really cool. This is much more filmic. This is not dreamlike, this is filmic. Okay, so let's try another mountain and nature vibe prompt. Look at these. Okay, these are really definitely dreamlike images. They look amazing. I feel like I could add like, oh, I want candy in here, and that's the kind of vibe like I get, like the candy worlds. This looks so cool. Okay, so let's go for filmic or photo. Let's go for photo and create again. And it's giving us completely different images. Flowers, snowy mountain in the back. Definitely everything I asked for. And they're nice as well. I love these flowers. I never know how they are called, but I love these flowers. You can see it's AI generated. Like if you look well, it's just like, it's not completely photorealistic, but it looks really nice and photorealistic. It's not a photo, it's photorealistic. Okay, these are really cute. Like this is definitely anime, and it's definitely dogs in a field with a forest in the background. And if we would go for filmic with this one, it's a bit like a toy dog. It also has half a leg. This one looks a bit weird as well, though a little bit better than that one. This one is kind of fun if the dog is okay-ish. Yeah, so it's still struggling with animals. This one looks like a toy dog again. Okay, so I just did photo 1, and some of these are quite nice. Like this one looks very well done. This one not so much. So I think this one works better than the Filmic for this kind of prompt. If you don't need anything difficult and you just want something fun, I think this one could be really, really cool because they make it so easy. You get multiple images that are very different. You can create again and just start from where you are. If you want something simple, I would definitely look into Canva. Go look into the others as well, but this one is really easy to use. But it is also a bit more confined and simple than the others. So I would say this is a 3 out of 5. So these were my initial thoughts and experiences with these AI art tools. Did you try them out already? I would love it if you would leave a comment below and tell me your experiences with AI art. Did you have trouble finding the right prompts like I did? Did you have to go down a rabbit hole and figure out what the engines meant? Which tools have you tried and did you like using them? And also, how are you using the images that you created? Please note that the ability to use these images might depend on their licensing terms. I recommend checking out the terms and conditions of the tool that you end up using to see what you can and cannot do with it. If you want to get some great ideas of content you can make and that maybe you can use those images for, check out my 30 inspirational content ideas. And you can find it in the description below and you can download it for free. Seeing as you are interested in AI, I think you will really like this video as well. It talks about ChatGPT and why I wouldn't recommend making full content pieces with ChatGPT. Of course, I also talk about how you could use the tool instead. Or you can check out this video that YouTube thinks that you'll really like. And I will see you over there. Bye.